hi, it's the Time 1 / Bishie, and let's play some more Final Fantasy with Silent Ghost. So, it's the Valentine's Day event. As I said with tinybishie, yeah, they're doing events pretty close to each other, I guess, to like make up and catch up for the Endwalker drop. I'm doing the Valentine's event early, and then hopefully I can get, and then once that's done, I don't have to worry about it until the next event, which I think is something like Little Ladies Day or something like that. But yeah, let's... Astrid's like, whoa, you're dull. No love lost. The set de Valentione has her midst full this Valentine's Day. Tis the season of ardor and affection, and romance is thick upon the air. I, the set of House Valentione, entreat you, dearest one, to breathe deep and take love's riches, its flowing rosy radiance, into your bosom. Alas, every rose has its thorn, and even this fairest of seasons is not without its trials. Indeed, trouble is afoot, and it threatens the hearts of all in this realm. A fellow of ours, a Moogle well-versed in the myriad matters of heart, has found himself in quite the quagmire. The sweet thing of which we speak goes by the name of Kupka Kup, and is an emissary of pen passions and all billets dues. Valentine's Day is a joyous occasion, but not always so for those who acquit themselves as postmobiles for the realm. Kupka Kup has his forepaws full delivering heartwarming missives far and wide, hither and thither. Though he would never admit it, I fear he's at his wit's end. But you, benevolent adventurer that you are, can provide precisely what our hirsute herald requires, oh so desperately. Pray, lend Kupka Kup your talents, and retrieve him from the edge whereupon his wits now tether so precariously. I'm gonna go, if I must, oh god. Marvelous! You are a hero through and through. Kupka Kup will be so relieved. I shall fetch him at once. See, sometimes it doesn't matter what response you make. As in that case. Ah, why yours is a face I know well. No introduction necessary, friends. For so renowned are you that I feel as if I have known you all my life. My postmobile compatriots speak of your during do almost nightly, Koopa. How they will bristle into puffballs when I tell them we are acquainted. Now then, I hear from Astrid that you would help me in my hour of need, for which I am most grateful. However, it's not the work itself that vexes me, but rather a colleague of mine, a clueless courier newly inducted into our vocation. Every Valentine's Day, we emissaries are overtaxed, and this season has proven no exception. I had hoped to nip this issue in the bud by petitioning the deputy postmobile for a helping call or two. He obliged, but has sent someone altogether worthless, an undisciplined tyro. To make matters worse, the daft thing is painfully ignorant of in the ways of the heart. You should hear the way she speaks to the clientele. What an ugly gift. Love must be blind, and such nonsense. Left to her own devices, I fear she will ruin Valentine's Day, Koopa. Give the girl the axe, you cry. The impulse is very much with me, I assure you, but I can't rightly turn away the very assistance for which I begged. I would come across as the most wretched ingrate to ever have wings. Yet I haven't the time to train her, let alone the patience. Fret not, our harried herald. You are right to have sought our help, for I have come upon the cleverest of solutions to your predicament. We shall enlist the help of our Dotree adventurer and House Valentione's very own Astrid to accompany said callous courier. I'm like, You cannot be surprised at my suggestion. 'Tis a most natural fit, Silent. 'Tis a most natural fit. Silent, so skilled in so many subjects, will teach her assistant the delicate art of the post, while Astrid shall instruct the Moogle in the ways of ardor and adoration. There, a splendid plan if I do say so myself. Are you both sure you're up for the task? It isn't too great of a bother? What a seasonable relief indeed, Kupo. I shall bring her to you at once, for there's not a moment to lose. Alright. May I introduce to you my fledgling post Moogle charge, Pukti Pico, and her loyal Chocobo. Oh dear, this is rather awkward. I confess your friend's name has slipped my mind, Kupo. Salutations, one and all. As for my Chocobo, his name can't have slipped your mind, because he hasn't one. I refer to him simply as my partner dear, or when I'm feeling particularly silly, Bird. Man, many an acquaintance of mine have attempted to provide him a name or two, but none of them ever stick, or should I say, I always forget them. In any case, you may call him whatever you like. It makes no difference, least of all to him. Yes, well, be that as it may, I have tasked Pukti Pico with 3 deliveries, all of which I would ask you to join her on. These 2 are to accompany me? Very well. Who am I to turn away? Whoever you are. Our first stop is the Carpenter's Guild. Bird and I shall await you there. Alright. And I'm so sorry that it seems I've been doing a lot of Final Fantasy games. It's just... Her name is Down Bad. Why? And there's a Roxas. Tabasco Sweet. Oh, the recipient is out on an errand or some such. A pity. As for the parcel, well, since no one is available to take it, I say we just leave it in any old place. There are other assignments to be getting on with after all. I say, now hold on there a moment. I am no post Moogle, granted, but merely abandoning a package like this before a door seems a touch disrespectful, does it not? What we have here is a gift, an item crafted with love and care. It deserves to be treated as such. Who is this from exactly? A young woman, if memory serves. Daughter to the man meant to receive it. Oh yes, and there was something about her training at the Culinary Guild, I think. My memory is hazy. We wouldn't want anyone to steal the parcel. You make interesting points. The man is on an errand, yes, and since he's with the Carpenters Guild, it stands to reason he is out collecting lumber, and from the Botanist Guild like as not. We shall start our search there, for a Valentione's Day gift must be delivered straight into the recipient's hands. Okay. So let's go. Drama Llama. Honestly, I am not making fun of these people's names. If you think that way, it's just interesting names I come across. Part of me is trying to think of other games to play besides this, because I have so many, and there are so many that I want to start. A delivery for you, sir. You weren't at the guild when we came calling, so we took the liberty of tracking you down. Alright, give it here then. Oh, what's all this? A Valentione Day chocolate? Now this is a surprise. My daughter's an apprentice in the Culinarians Guild, you see. I had heard she'd been selected to make the chocolates for the festivities this year, but I certainly didn't expect to receive any myself. And how wonderful that you did. It's not every day one's daughter is accorded the honor of crafting such a beloved confectionery. She must be quite the culinarian. That she is. My pride and joy, that girl. What a pleasant surprise this package was. Certainly made my day. I can't thank you enough for bringing it all the way out to me like you have. I'll never forget this kindness. Goodness, seems like a bit of an overreaction to being handed some food, doesn't it? No? That's what savvy post mobiles call customer satisfaction, Kupo. Agreed. There is a lesson to be learned here at Pukti. Joy is not meant to be kept to oneself. It is a feeling that yearns to be shared, and we played a part in bringing him happiness. So it is a little wonder that he wished to share his felicity with us. So joy is meant to be shared? Well, when you put it that way, I suppose that's not so foreign a concept. When something makes me smile or laugh, I do tend to talk my companion's ear off about it, and I'm often made the happier for it. But enough about that. Time is wasting. Best be off to our next delivery. The recipient waits at the Whistling Miller by the looks of it. Okay. Go back this way. Oh, he has a little Sid. Hold up. That's cute. Go this way. Pardon me, but I have a delivery for you, ma'am. For me? Oh, it's from one of my dearest companions. And look what they've said. Pink seashells. Are they not extraordinary? Look at their vibrancy. Ah, and a card. Happy Valentine's Day. How delightful. Shells? Empty ones. Can't even eat those. At least the other fellow received chocolate. Dude. Poopty, that's abominably rude. You must forgive our friend here. She is not accustomed to deliveries such as these. There's nothing to forgive, I assure you. I could hardly be upset after receiving a gift like this, and from a loved one I've not seen in quite some time. My friend, you see, is an adventurer in their own right. They enjoy being cryptic, though, and never outright tell me where they've been. Rather, they make me guess by dropping hints in the form of curiosities such as these. What a blessing this parcel is. I was only just wondering how they were faring, and where their journeys have brought them. Thank you, Miss Postmobile. You have brightened my day. Love is a mystery indeed, and a funny one at that. It is my pleasure to tell you, Poopty, that love is a many-splendored thing, and we each have our own unique way of expressing it. The friendship between that girl and her adventurer companion is a perfect example. That gift, which appeared mere frippery to you, was a treasure in her eyes. Perhaps her friend is in La Nausicaa. I suspect you may be right. Outside of a few specialty traders, seashells of that quality and color cannot be easily found in the landlocked regions of the realm, after all. So you mean to say that was her friend's way of telling that young woman that all is well? Their way of assuaging any worries she might be harboring about their safety? How fascinating. To be sure, were I to be separated from my bird here by expansive seas or vast mountain ranges, I'd like to hear from him from time to time. Perhaps not every day. That would be irksome. But to know that he is in good health would not be altogether disagreeable, I suppose. Anywho, no sense in losing ourselves in thought. Not when a parcel sits burning a hole in my satchel, Koopa. Our next delivery takes us to Apkalu Falls. Let's away. Okay. I think that's the one that's up this way. Yep. Greetings, sir. I have for you here a parcel from one of Ulda's preeminent art dealers, Kupo. At last, your earrings, they've arrived. Goodness gracious, how stunning they are. This craftsmanship, this meticulous attention to detail. I couldn't have hoped for a better present for my wife. She'll be over the moon to receive them. Her birthday is coming up, you see, and I want to ensure her special day is just that. I've even given Koop's palm a vigorous pat. I hear tell that one touch is enough to bring a couple happiness for all their years to come. Let us hope so. You did well to bring these all the way out here with that scratch on them, you know. I've begun to worry that by the time I receive them, the poor things would be nothing more than scuffed, dented rocks. You've got a bright future ahead of you in the Postal Service, friend. Thank you. Now this is odd. There's a flutter in my chest, a tickle in my stomach, Kupo. Have I taken ill? Or do compliments and words of gratitude always elicit this sort of response? Trust me when I say you are not ill, Poopty. That flutter you feel, those ticklish sensations you describe, That is fondness, a form of love indeed, and it was made manifest by that man's appreciation for what you provided. Oh, so it's love nonsense. Why, it isn't nonsense at all. It is quite wonderful, actually. I would liken it to that feeling when my bird and I settle down for an afternoon nap in the 12's wood, when I tuck myself under his wing and we are warmed by the sunlight breaking through the trees. Perhaps you haven't mastered the concept entirely, but I do believe we are making strides in the right direction. You certainly seem more attuned to the ways of the heart than when we first made your acquaintance, at any rate. Now that all 3 parcels have reached the right hands, let us return to Mieketo's amphitheater. No doubt Kupka Cup is anxious to know how Pukti fared. Alright. I was going to run right past it. I'm like, where's the gate? Oh. There's the gate. Here they are, our agents of affection, our heralds of the heart, returned at last and not before time, Kupo. Tell me, how went your deliveries? Splendid, each and every one. The recipients were all thrilled to receive their parcels, and I'm pleased to say that Pukti Pico learned something along the way. Yes, I do believe I did. Love is. Well, it's a bit more complicated than I first imagined it to be. There are hidden depths to it, ones I didn't see before. I may not be an expert on the subject yet, but I would like to think my ignorance is not quite as dire as it once was. You are making progress, certainly. I'm glad of it, and just so long as you did not offend anyone, I could not ask for more. Anywho, I am indebted to you, Astrid, Silent. You have spared at least 3 citizens of the realm from potential cruelty, however unattended it may have been. No, I am being too harsh, Pukti. You have shown a true concerted effort to understand the labyrinthian complexities of the heart, and as a reward, I am inclined to set to you another task. For in truth, your work is not yet finished. Much more is there to be done this Valentine's Day, Kupo. When you have the time, speak to me again, and I shall tell you about it. Give me a sec to take a drink. Love's labors. Kupka Kup has the matter of the heart on his mind. There you are, and not a moment too soon. Your unwavering devotion to the ways of ardor and affection, love and romance, courtship and intimacy is both commendable and deeply appreciated. So to the task of which I spoke, it involves a woman by the name of Alois, who only just posted a parcel with no small amount of urgency. However, she then returned, begging us to call off its delivery, a highly unusual request. In her eyes, twin pools of sorrow, Kupo. She fled straight away, ere I could even get my bearings, let alone ask what troubles her so. Will you help me seek her out? You are too kind. Now as for this young woman, she is a Elysian of great beauty, and thus should not be an easy one to overlook. Last I saw of her, She had just made a sharp left at the fork of the road. Unless my eyes deceive me. To the left, you say? That way lies the Great Lone Growery, if I'm not mistaken. I will accompany you there, Cook. Silent, Hookty Pico, you two will look near Nofika's altar. Should you come upon her before we do, come find us at the Growery. Okay, and I think she's at the Conjurer's Guild. Or the Conjurer's Guild area. Yep. His name is Choco Pocky. Who, me? Yes, I am Alois. Why do you ask? Koopa wants to see me, you say. But whatever for? He's beside himself with worry, Kupo. He told us you turned tail and darted off, looking dreadfully stricken. Downright morose. You can understand his concern, surely. I see. I owe him an apology for worrying him as I have. And an explanation for my frantic flight as well. Kupka is still at Keto's amphitheater, correct? I'll go to him at once. Actually, never mind, she's already gone. I suppose I shall go and fetch him then, shall I? Meet us at the amphitheater. Silent, and do hurry. We wouldn't want her dashing off again. Okay, so I remember Silent was the one character that I wasn't able to get all the, like, there was a mobile for one of the events I wasn't able to get. And I want to try and get the heart event for my house when I eventually get one, so I know I wanted to play other stuff, but it looks like I'm gonna have to do some quests with Silent so I can get her up to, I think it's 6,000. 6,000, yeah, 6,000 to get the mobile. That's fine. But I promise I am not a purely Final Fantasy channel. Promise. Or not purely a Final Fantasy 14 channel, I should say. Although lately it seems like it. Either Final Fantasy 14 unboxings and VODs. First, let me start by saying how grateful I am that you should think to come and check on me. The truth of the matter is, I received an offer of marriage. I meant to accept, which is why I came to you initially, Kupka, to see that my reply would be delivered safely. However, as I was writing to him to tell him yes, I found myself hesitating more than I ought to have been. I began to wonder if I was making a terrible decision not only for me, but for him as well. The man who seeks my hand is of Ishgardian nobility, and goes by the name Iziomil. At the moment he is quite ill, and is seeking treatment here in Gridania. Do not misunderstand me. I was overjoyed to hear of his devotion. A life spent with him would be a wonderful thing. But I am no noble. I am of the most common stock, no more special than a weed underfoot. I wasn't raised with the aristocratic manners a future wife of his requires. Who am I to marry into nobility? I must destroy my previous mystic and pen a new letter, one telling him I can't go through with it, but that one I'll hand deliver. I won't have an emissary of love delivering such ill tidings. Now, I don't pretend to be an expert in the ways of the heart, but isn't love the desire to be with someone forever and on? The desire for a trusted partner in this world? Someone with whom you can share your joys and your woes? If you care for him, be with him. Wouldn't it upset you to do anything but? It certainly seems to have. I may not have much experience with this, but I know that were I and my chocobo to be separated, I wouldn't like it, not one bit. I don't believe giving up is a solution, Kupo. Verily, I myself am of Ishgardian nobility, and can thus speak from a place of authority. Each of our houses has its own traditions. It is our titles that connect us, not our principles. Before making your decision, seek the counsel of your beloved and learn what his family values. I could not agree more. After all, it is doubt you harbor, not a lack of affection. If you believe his heart to be yours entire, then trust that he will listen to your troubles, that you and he can solve them together. Why not send one more letter, explain what it is that vexes you? Yes, I see your point. It's unfair of me to hide my feelings like this. He's owed my honesty. But how does one even write such a letter? I wouldn't know where to begin. Perhaps you should explain your apprehension about fulfilling your duties as wife to a man of a great house. Make it clear that, should you decide to join his social milieu, you will require time to study, learn, and train before you are comfortable. A word of warning, though. To compromise the very woman you are in order to bend to the rigors of nobility may leave you jaded, haggard, and altogether infuriated. Thus, I suggest you first inquire as to whether his family is capable of accepting you as you are. Why not simply write down all your worries? I don't fancy myself a poet of passions or what have you, but there is something to be said for getting everything out in the open. All of these ideas have a great deal of merit, and each should be given due consideration. Silent, what say you? Which of these notions have struck a chord with you? Make it clear that you won't compromise who you are. Thank you for your insight, everyone. I believe I know what I must do now. Then let us fetch you parchment, quill, and ink. Fortunate that you have us, you know, for we emissaries are never far from instruments of the post. Why, I shall even provide you with Valentione's themed stationery. I love the detail on my outfit and my gloves. That's so cool. There, it is done. Now all that's left is for him to read it. My darling is likely in the gentry's ward. I know he enjoys sitting in solitude on a bench not far from the gates. He'll be there like as not. Then that's where we'll try first. We'll be back with his response as soon as we are able. Tell me, Hillbird, love's work awaits. Oh dear, I'm so fidgety. I just can't sit still for nerves. That was loud. No, I cannot take this any longer. I refuse to stand idly by while my future is decided without me. That does it. I'm going to the gentry's ward this instant. Alois, you can't, and she's gone. Our duty as emissaries of love and affection demand we see that lovelorn lasts through this trying time. I shall meet you at the gates of the Gentry's ward. Okay. Alright, so like I did with tinybishie, I will go to the Lancers Guild and then go from there, because that's a shortcut. So just to say, I hope you're enjoying me doing these like dual recordings, dual let's plays of tinybishie, a very tiny male character, and Silent Ghost as a very tall female character. That way, and plus doing two different. The classes are similar, but they're different. You've seen how the two classes differ and all those differences, even though we're getting to a point in the storyline where it's starting to become like the same. But yet, there'll still be opportunities for different, like in this instance, different responses to questions, that sort of thing. So, plus you'll get to see like the different armor. I know at some point there'll be a crossing. Like at some point I'll do a conjurer character. Wait, Song Ghost is a summoner, correct? Oh no, right now she's an arcanist. And I believe tinybishie is a thaumaturge. So at some point, Silent Ghost is going to become a thaumaturge herself and go through that sort of thing, but that's going to be way, way later. And at some point, tinybishie is going to become an arcanist, but of course that's also going to be way, way later, you know, through the storyline. Hopefully, I'm trying to make the two characters different enough so that even though the storyline is going to be the same, you enjoy watching the different characters go on their own personal little journeys with the guild, with their guilds and all that, and the free companies, or not free companies, grand companies that they pick. I can't hide with this character. With tinybishie, I was able to hide behind her almost. I'm sorry to have run off again like that, but I just couldn't wait around twiddling my thumbs another moment more. We have a letter from one Miss Alois herself. Alois? A missive from my love. Thank you kindly, post moguls. Perhaps it is not my place, but if I may. Alois thinks a great deal of you. We watched her as she wrote that letter you now hold, and we could see plain as day how much she cares for you. If there's love to be found in this world, it's there, in every word she has put to that page. That heart and its intricacies aren't my forte, I admit. But if you even have as much affection for her as she has for you, then what you two share is something wondrous. I can only hope you can both weather whatever troubles come your way. The heart isn't my forte, indeed. For one who claims such a thing, you show remarkable perspicacity in that matter. You are quite changed from the Moga I once knew. Color me impressed, Kupo. You are good to concern yourself over my and Aloy's affairs. Your kindness does you a good deal of credit. See, I can't even hide. She can hide. I'm just poof there in the open. I shall pen my response this instant. Can I trust that you will deliver it straight to her once I've finished? We serve at your pleasure. Your trust is not misplaced in us, good sir. Did you hear that? He's going to reply. We should return to Mieketo's amphitheater at once. I don't want to be here when he sent our post-mobile friends all the way back there. Yes, it would be rather awkward were his letter to have no recipient. Let us explain the situation to Lisette and wait for Pukti and Kupka's delivery. Also, I know that at some point Izuna, my Twitch character, is going along the same lines story-wise, but this is also why I made all three characters start in different cities, so there's a difference to when I play them, and there's a different feel to everything. So I say all that all in all to say I hope you are enjoying my Let's Plays and streams of this game, which I like so very much. Our eminent emissary of adoration and affection is with us once more, and now that we are assembled, we only to wait for the custodians of Izolmiel's reply. Oh, that person has a 2B automaton. Capri. I feel sick to my stomach. What if I've angered him? What if he calls off the whole engagement? We have returned, and with your beloved's painstakingly penned post and paw. I took your words to heart, Lisette, and I'm glad that I did. He writes me to say that he adores me for the woman I am, and that he would never push me to be anything less. He tells me I have a quality that is all my own, one that no other could ever hold a candle to, which is why he fell head over heels with me in the first place. His life here is a good one he's come to enjoy, so much so that he's even considering moving to Gridania permanently. I suppose there really isn't any need to worry about joining the upper crust, is there? So, interestingly enough, when I did this with tinybishie, and I picked the first response, she went with Astrid's suggestion. So this time she went with Lisette's. When I play with Izuna, I'm going to do the third response, and see who she ends up going with. So that's kind of interesting. See how there are differences with each playthrough. I have come to ensure my letter has reached you, and see if you have yet read it. After all, you did the same for me. It would be unkind to not return the favor, no? Oh gods, how embarrassing. You caught me spying on you, didn't you? You're embarrassed? For what, pray? I found it endearing, my darling. Ah, these companions of yours, will they assist you in your writing to me? Then we are in your debt. Alois, my love, what say you to tea at the Carline Canopy? There we can discuss our future, a conversation which is long overdue, I should think. Thank you, my friends. Where would I be without your help? And I promise yours will be the first invitations we post once we've settled on a day. Goodness gracious me, do my eyes deceive me? Cookty Pico, your palm. Oh, it's a little hard. Why, it's adopted the very shape of the season, and is lovely beyond compare, Koopa, and 'tis much of a muchness with mine, or so I flatter myself to think. I cannot rightly explain it, but seeing those two together brought a flutter to my chest, a spring to my wings, and the next thing I knew, my palm began to tingle in the most peculiar of ways. It's just such a marvelous thing to know that we had a hand in ushering Izolmil and Alois' story into its next chapter, and to think it was all performed strictly for the art of post. Affectionate missives are more than just the silly foldero I assumed them to be. I see now that they show what's in our hearts like nothing else can, and we emissaries are their trusted custodians. That we are, Pukti. Only do remember that letters require more than just love. They are also in need of names and addresses. And speaking of names, perhaps you might bestow one upon a certain chocobo. Think of it as a show of not only kindness, but of love too. A show of love, you say? I suppose you're right. I was never able to recall the names given by my Moogle acquaintances. But I bet I could arrive at something that actually sticks. I will give it some thought. Make sure I've done this bird justice. My once foolish fledgling has wings of her own at last. How proud I am to see you soar. You are a credit to the emissaries of ardor and affection with your heart-shaped palm. It is my most sincere honor to have you among our ranks, and I pray that you will continue this most revered work. I would love nothing more, Kupo. I love the little heart on the ground. What joy to be blessed with so many couriers in this season of sublimity, no less. 'Tis heartening indeed to watch our numbers grow and grow, for with so many we can ensure what ardor and affection accompany all the fair creatures of the realm where'er their journey to take them. I did not see where she started to sing. Yay! Alright, I got some new, like, armor for my chocobo. I'm curious, does that give me a title? Nope, I still just have part of the party. Okay. Alright. So now we're gonna go over here. And we're going to do these little 4 quests. Better letters. Pukti Pico appears to be beset with troubles. Silent, I knew you'd come. You're a marvelous, convenient talent for appearing when we're in need, don't you? Anywho, trouble's afoot. Word has spread to our previous endeavors, which under normal circumstances would be cause for celebration, but not so today. We've been inundated with letters from across the realm, entreating our aid with all manner of vexations. Our fellows have left me here alone to field their pleas, and I can't see to all this by myself. Please, won't you assist me in bringing succor to the hearts of the weary? I made a tiny little list of those who have written to us. No need to see to their troubles in any particular order, mind you. Just try not to let requests slip through the cracks, yes? Alright, so I'll go in order like I did with tinybishie. But instead of picking the first response, I'll pick the second one. The Emissary of Pen Passions. You would see to what plagues my heart? You are far too godly, Silent. I confess that Eloise's joyful union touched me in a way most unexpected. It sparked within me jealousy of all things, for in her happiness I saw reflected my own desires. Yes, 'tis true. I am here to speak of my own beloved, the man with whom I wish to spend all my days and nights, the very gentleman to whom I am betrothed, one Sir Fortevins. The festivities have run us both off our feet, leaving us not a spare moment to while away together as we once did. It vexes me terribly, yet I cannot speak of it to him. I would flesh like a schoolgirl and tie my tongue into knots. Instead, I mean to pour my woes onto parchment. Oh, this explains a great deal. At first I couldn't understand what was upsetting you so, but now it's all clear as crystal to me. Right then, on to this letter. First, what style should she write it in? Keep it simple and straightforward. And how should she word her vexations? Be coy with them. Oh no! There, 'tis done. For better or worse, the mischief is penned. And all that remains is its delivery, which I will attend to right away. I think with her, and I'll do this with Izuna, I'll pick the second one and then the first. Goodness me, no sooner had Sir Fortevins read your letter that he made a beeline for the nearest door to race to your side set. It was all I could do to keep him from stampeding through the streets. A small miracle he had the presence of mind to even hold a pen. No! Why do you dance around the issue at hand? Be plain with me or I will never understand. Heavens, perhaps it would have been wiser to be more forthcoming with my issues. Well, irrespective of this non-committal answer I received, I am grateful to you for advising me on this matter. Okay, yeah. So, I think it shows that I've messed up when they think about it. So, I try to remember that when I do this with the Izuna. Whoop. Your assistance has proven positively indispensable, Silent. If you have the time and inclination, do come by again. There's always more to be done after all. Oh no. Okay. Oh my god. Alright, The Nameless Adventure. We and the Adventurers Guild seek to post a letter to our guildmaster, Mother Mjorn. Though we've yet an untrained and unblended parcel of adventurers, it still grieves us tremendously to admit that we sought her aid in a task we bungled not several nights gone. We fear this blunder of ours will lower us in her estimation so abominably that we may never work again. We are determined to set this all to rights. But the question is how? What words will move Mother Mjorn so that she will not see us as the lumbering dolts who stepped in it? Oh, this is a pickle. Count yourself lucky, though, for you're in the presence of a renowned adventurer, one who most assuredly understands well the problems you face. So, Silent, what advice can you impart to our flustered friends? Tell her that, barring your sensational adventurers. Oh, God. Oh no, they're thinking about it. No. And what would convince this Mother Mjorn to provide them with more work? That you would do anything to make up for your previous misstep. Oh no. Here, 'tis writ at last. And I shall see to its safe and expedient delivery. Pardon my tardiness. Mjorn was kind enough to set out tea for me, and I could hardly refuse such an offer. It warmed my heart to see such munificence. And now that I reflect on it, such hospitality, too, is one form of love, isn't it? But I digress. What does Mjorn write? Though she commends us on our ambition and zeal, she worries that we put our lives at risk by attempting tasks which exceed our abilities. I cannot deny the truth of what she says. While I decided circumspection shall be our watchword going forward. So I should have done the first one for both of them. You were right to advise us as you did. I thank you for your help. Oh no. So 1, 2. Oh no. 2, 1. 1, 1. Gonzo-chan. Okay. Do you look like Gonzo? Okay. The Winsome Pajal. I think this one is going to be Tutu. Fancy seeing you here, and fancier still that you are one who assists me. My conundrum is that, as ever, my brother and I are concerned for Connie's well-being. We thought to write her, but I know not what to say, and Aaron has lifted not a digit to help. I would ask her to be mindful of her health, but does that not sound rather fussy? Even more so when couched in dear sisters and formal prose. Though I suppose Connie is both formal and fussy herself. What is more, I haven't much practice in the ways of penning properly worded missives. My sister is, as I mentioned, a touch on the fussy side, and holds manners and decorum in high regard. Little doubt that she'll read my words with a rather critical eye. You speak of Connie Senna, the eldest seedseer? She is revered among our kind. To think I will soon be delivering a letter to her. What an honor! But enough about me. We'll hear about Rhea O'Senna. Silent, how do you think she should go about this? Show that you are serious by observing proper letter writing etiquette. Very well. Well, who should we say this letter is from? Rhea O'Senna may be the one composing it, but it was both her and her brother who meant to ask after her well-being. What are your thoughts? It should be from both her and her brother. Okay, let's see how this turns out. There, I have finished. Might I entrust its delivery to you? Why, of course, and away I go, Kupo. The elder Seedseer is a wonderful woman, as many have said. She saw how nervous I was and put me at my ease immediately. Your sister is lovely indeed. I'm glad to hear it. Let us see how she replies. She applauds me for the maturity I show in writing her, and says that as an older sister, she cannot be more proud. What a curious response. I ask her to watch her health, and she commends me on my maturity? Oh, God. Strange as the answer is, it seems our words of worry have gotten through to her, thankfully. Though I was initially reluctant, I'm glad we wrote her. My heart is lighter knowing she is well. Oh, good, yes. Your assistance in these family matters is much appreciated. Alright. And then last one. Oh, okay, so I didn't realize he says, back again I see, the heavy-hearted of the realm will rest easy knowing that you're on the case. Now then, which of these distraught Eorzeans will you assist this time? And we're going to do the last one, the one who dreams of the wider world. Greetings, ma'am. My name is Eileen, and it is an honor to meet one such as yourself. For you see, I've dreams of becoming an adventurer too. Oh, to think of all that you've seen, all the lands you have walked, how incredible. But as for why I'm here today, well, I want to write a letter to Kupka Kup to thank him for his support. Whenever I feel low, like I want to give up on my dream of seeing the world, Kupka is there for me to lift my spirits. A message from Kupka Kup. So Silent, how do you think she should start it? Oh no. Urge him to take time for himself this busy season. Oh no, she thinks. And how should she finish the letter? Show him in his endeavors that as he supports you in yours. Oh god, it's one of each. How's this gonna go? I've taken your words to heart. I only hope this letter is enough to show Kupka how much he means to me. I'll make sure it reaches the right hands, or paws rather. If you could only have seen the look on Kupka's face when I told him who had written it. He couldn't stop twirling through the air. It was adorable, but don't tell him I said that. He was so touched, he managed to find time between his many deliveries to craft a reply, which I have here. Oh, he writes me to apologize, saying that he never meant to cause me worry. An apology is the last thing I wanted from him. I think he might have misunderstood the intentions of my letter. Oh no. Well, we'll speak soon enough and I'll straighten all this out. Thank you for taking the time to help me, Silent. Farewell. Alright, so, yeah. So it was 1 and then 2. Well, she looks fine. Okay. Alright, and then I still have the mobile to get, which hopefully I plan to be able to get this, excuse me, time around. Oh. Let me put this on for my chocobo. And this is what these look like, so. And then if I move over, oh, it follows me. Okay, never mind. Oh, they're NPCs. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and leave this episode here. And then, in the next episode, I'll actually do some adventuring with Silent Ghost. So that we can get her up to enough to get the mobile. Here, I'll show you what I mean. The Valentione mobile. We got plenty of the prismatic hearts. So. Alright. Alright, so that's going to be all for now. I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. So that's going to be all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay safe, stay happy. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.